Hey Spuddies, Potato McWhiskey here, and welcome back to Let's Play Steel Division Normandy 44. Now, there was a new update for the game, and so 2 new divisions have been added, and I think a new map has been added, as well as a few little balance changes. So we're going to be going to play the new divisions, so let's create the Stugstaffel division. The Stugstaffel division, because we are going to be playing the SS Panzergrenadier Divisionen. Now this is a sort of mobile infantry division, but I haven't actually looked at it, funny enough. Oh, I didn't mean to click through there. But you can see, like, it's got 40 activation points, just like the Scots, so I'm going to imagine the experience is quite good. Yeah, look at these, they've got some good experience on their troops. It seems like the experienced sort of infantry divisions get some extra slots. So, lots of infantry, very little air. Actually, this seems like a pretty well-rounded deck. It's got, like, a good amount of everything. I would consider, like, 3 slots is, like, the minimum. 4 slots is, like, decent. Like, you have a few... Like, I talked about this before. 4 slots is, you can have a unit for each phase and a luxury unit. So 4 is, like, the minimum I would consider for being, like, a well-rounded division. But the fact that, like, they've got, like, 5s. They've got 5s and 6s and 7s and 8s. Damn. And this division has really good anti-tank, it seems. So let's get started. We're going to start with recon. We're going to start from the top and work our way down. Let's see, the 221 Panzer, or we could get the BMW. Now I like the idea of getting a 28mm gun in the early game. Seems like that could be very useful for, you know, just suppressing half tracks, maybe taking them out. It's got a really good AP actually, so it could be, you know, could be pretty good at taking stuff out. Although I did see a video of someone trying to use this online, and it didn't go well for him. I think we'll take one group of Aufklärer, and then we'll also take some Spähtruppe, because they're pretty decent. They have good, they're cheap. I want some cheap recon, and then some more expensive sort of battle recon, and then in phase B, I think I will take. Let's see, we have the SP. These units look fairly familiar to the Panzer division. We have the SPW-231 or the SPW-233. I think I will take the 231 in phase B, and then the 233 in phase C for that nice a nice longer range. These are open top vehicles, so we have to be careful. In terms of infantry, I think it makes sense to definitely take some Panzergrenadiers. We also have some MG42s. Nothing too special here. We've got some Sturmtruppe. Stormtroopers. Ooh, I would like to use those guys. Stormtroopers in Schwimms. Which I think those are like little amphibious vehicles. They might be. I don't know. They look like they're supposed to be amphibious. Yes! It is amphibious. Excellent. Excuse me, I have a little bit of a cold again. I just, you know, it's like a never-ending struggle for me. I think we'll take some Panzerführers. And, oh, these are only a 5-man squad. We'll take some of these. We'll take some Panzergrenadiers. We'll take some MG42s. And then in phase... So this is like a good mix of leaders, frontline infantry, and then in phase B we're going to want to take some more Panzergrenadiers. We're going to want to take some Sturm Pioneers. We're going to want to take some regular Pioneers, and then perhaps that will do. Now I want to go up to, like I said, I want to go up to the second last card, and then sort of round my deck out. Ooh, the Stug 3F8, the early game. That could be really interesting to play around with that. It's a very low profile tank. It has a very good range, it has 1000 range, it has 14 AP, very low HE sadly. But you know, it could be an interesting vehicle to take. And it is our only armor available in phase A. It's sort of like the Firefly for the Panzer, the SS Panzer division. It kind of serves that early game big power that you have to kind of play around. I would also... Ooh, they've got a lot of Stugs. That's why I call this the Stugstaffel. I think it makes sense here to take some Stugs, because it's all we have available. Would I take a Beth Panzer, which is a leader unit? I think I will take a Beth Panzer, because it has quite a few interesting traits. It has an okay armor, like now the armor on these aren't very great, but it has an okay-ish armor. It has a pretty decent gun, not amazing accuracy, but like a decent accuracy. I think it actually shares, yeah, it's a 75 millimeter. 75 millimeter is a pretty powerful gun. I think we will take the Beth Panzer, just because we just, you know, it'd be good to have a leader unit. And then we'll take some experienced Stugs in Phase B and Phase C. I think these are like really good choices I've made here. What's the difference between the Stug 3G and the Stug 4? The Stug 4 has less ammo, better HE, a better armor. Yeah, I'd like the armor is good. I'm happy to pay the extra 10 points for, you know, 2 armor on the front. You know, ooh, they've got like these little armor panels on the side too. That's really cool. Okay, so let's go for, now we've filled this out, we want to go for support. I definitely think it makes sense to take another leadership unit here in support. I tried to use these IG-18s before, and it didn't go well. I think I will take some Opel Blitz munitions in the early game. Well, I'll consider it. Let's see, late game, SB232s. That's a 20mm gun. It's a leader unit. That could be interesting to use. The IG-33, IG-18, IG-33 is. I felt like these IGs were really bad actually. I'm gonna try and use them again. I'm gonna try and use these IGs again. I will bring a Opel Blitz, and I will bring some SPWs, and then I'll bring some IG-33s and a grid. Now the question is the Opel Blitz. Yeah, I think I'll just take 2 Opel Blitz. I think we can survive with this. Take the Grille. Or do we skip a phase here and go for the SB232? It has a better gun. I think we'll go for the phase B leader unit. The Panzer Shrek is really nice because it has such a good range, but the downside is that they're very vulnerable to being killed. The Pack It Up, Pack It In 38 is very good actually. 10 AP is pretty decent in the early game. It's enough to push back anything, and we have lots of room for packs. Let's start off with, I think I will take some. I think I'll take some Panzer Shreks. I will take some Pack 38s. I'll take a Pack 40. Maybe. I do want this 88 because god damn. Yeah, I wanted 88. These things are just disgusting. 22 AP, 1200 range, 7 accuracy. Jesus. I want some of these Pack 88s just because, you know, there's no hocus pocus with those guns, let me tell you. No messing around. We'll take some 38s for early game AT, and then mid game we will take some 75mm. We'll take an 88, and then late game we will take more 88s. We could take some Martyrs or mobile anti-tank. Now the downside is these are extremely vulnerable, and it's like really just a one-shot hopeful. The problem is that, like, even though these things are unarmored, they can actually take a couple of hits, whereas these Martyrs, if one hit hits them, it's just over for them, because they have no armor. So I'm gonna take some 88s. I'll take a pair of inexperienced 88s, and I'll take one extremely experienced 88 to really pack a punch. Now, in terms of anti-air, the Flak Veerling is awesome, so I'm going to take some of those. Now, I could take some 36s. I that wouldn't be terrible. I could take the Sudhoofswagen, which, you know, those are okay. They're not terrible. They're interesting. The flak veering. I think this is a quad. Yeah, this is a quad gun, which is... That's some serious power right there. And we could take the flak 36, which is more of an artillery 37mm. I think it would be okay to take one and then form a little net with these units. Let's talk about our late game choices here. We could take the 37, the mobile 37. I think I would like a variety. I would like a multiple, or we could take a mounted flak feeling. Personally, I like the idea of taking the mobile flak veerling. We're gonna have to do some extra anti-air here. I think I'll take both of these. They're kind of weak in their AA department. I think I need these actually to get through that phase. Yeah, I think this is a good mix. A couple of flak veerlings to get deployed in the early game, then a couple of 10-4s get through the mid game as well, with some flak. Although these kind of feel very weak. 10-4s. I could take the 36s. I would get 2 in phase B, or I could take 1 in phase A. I'll take the 4 of these with the flak veerling in phase A. We're probably going to have to use another slot here. I feel very weak in AA. Now, in terms of artillery, we have a lot of things to play around with. I want to play with these SK-18s, because holy shit, do you see that range? Look at this weapon. It's got 4,000 range, it fires 4 rounds a minute, it takes 15 seconds between each shot, it has a 38 AoE. God damn. Also be taking some... Oh, I could take some SK-18s in the mid-game actually instead. I'd get 1 less, but I'd get them earlier. I think I'll go with the 1 less and get them earlier, because artillery is something I really want to play around with, but I have yet to get really into it. Now, I could take a field battery in the early game. I think, you know what, I think the field battery is a cool idea in the early game. Maybe we'll do that. I tend not to use my mortars, but I think I would maybe use a field battery. Now the Nurble is a cool idea, or the FK-18, which is a 2000 range. I think if I'm going to be taking the SK-18 in phase B, I think I would probably want to take something like the Nurble in phase B instead. Let's see, what's this? This is the 60 version with 6 rockets, and then this is the... Oh, these guys have much bigger rockets. Jesus. Do they? Yeah, the 120 meter radius on those AoEs or whatever. I'll go with the Nurble 41s for some firepower. And then phase C, I think we will take an artillery observer in the late game, because we get 2 of them. And then we'll take some more SK-18s to really pound that point home in terms of artillery. I think that this division has a very good availability of artillery. Now, in terms of our activation points, I've got a few things I want to do. I would like the... I've got three slots that I can use here before I make decisions about luxuries and putting and stuff like that. The Ju-88 is an interesting idea, because having an early game bomber. Well, the question is, do I want an early game bomber or an early game rocketeer? I think I'm going to take the ME-109 BR because it's a lot faster. That means it's less vulnerable, it's less likely to get its ass kicked, I can be a little more daring with it, I can make a few more mistakes, plus it's got a 20mm gun, which is pretty nice, whereas the Ju-87 only has 3 7.92mm guns. So I'm going to take the ME-109 in phase A. In phase B, I would like some fighters. I think that's the thing to take. Take some fighters in phase B, and then in phase C, Take some of these Ju-87s, which are cannon aircraft I can use to take out tanks and stuff like that. They only have 12 AP though, so I might instead take some more Rocketeers. Or just go for some super bombers. Yeah, let's take some super bombers. Why not? I think that's a pretty well-rounded, an early game aircraft that can fight. And you know, some general stuff going on here. A couple of fighters. We've got 2 more activation points, so we can make some decisions here. In terms of, I actually really do think I could just take out these IG-18 pluses and like not suffer at all for it. I think an area I definitely feel weak is in the AA department. I would really like some of these 7-1s because they have the they have the quad cannon mounted, whereas this is just a single 37. I think having the quad cannon mounted could be interesting. Like phase A, I feel very weak in AA, which makes me tempted to take a 36mm as well, or just more flak Veerlings. And then if I take more flak Veerlings, I'll take a 36mm gun in the phase A to well, you know what? I'm gonna take the extreme late game approach here with the 7-1. So that leaves us with 1 point to take or give. I would like another plane, like a phase B bomber or a phase B Rocketeer. I could take a Ju-87 in phase B. I think I'll take a Ju-87 in phase B. That way I have good ground attack capabilities. Now in terms of artillery, I could get rid of something, and I think the Nuremberg could go, honestly. The Nuremberg could go, and then I can slot that in somewhere else, like my infantry. I would like more infantry, particularly in the early game. I would like some more Panzergrenadiers. Or I could take some Pioneer Führers. I think having some extra early game Panzergrenadiers is nice. The question is, do I take Stormtroopers? I already have Stormtroopers. Oh, they have smoke grenades. That's really cool. I think I'll take some Stormtroopers and I'll take some extra Panzergrenadiers. In terms of anti-tank though, we are going to be a little bit light on anti-tank here. We have some good early game options, I think. Couple of guns. Couple of guns. I think this is a pretty decent deck. I don't really see any major issues with it. So I'm going to try it out against the AI. So thank you very much for watching the deck building portion. I hope to see you in the gameplay portion. See you next time.